Okay, so we're going to quickly cover how to set up a mask in CrysAlisᴾṕ for a shadow from the end of the cryo nozzle ending up on your diffraction images. So to start out here, the best thing to do is to make sure that your cryo nozzle is aligned properly. Press F12 here and open the crystal centering view. You can see that I have the pin that is on the end of my Oxford Cryo 1000. This is the alignment pin, and I've aligned the nozzle, and I have a loop here with a crystal on the end. And if you go, let's say, to the lower position, this is, let's say, how it would look like when you're centering it. And so I've got my nozzle pretty well aligned. I'm pretty happy with that. So now I will take the pin off, but you want to make sure that your nozzle's pretty well aligned and at the correct distance from your crystals before you start this. So now the cone is removed, the alignment pin is removed, and we're just dealing with a crystal here that's centered, and this is a cytidine crystal. So now I can go back to the home position, and we can deal with looking for the cryo nozzle shadow and masking it. So what we're going to need is a position of the goniometer where we can see the nozzle shadow. And so typically, you can get there in the command shell by typing in a goto command and making it swing the 2 theta out to an extreme angle, positive or negative, and a close distance. So I have, for my system, I know where to go. I'm going to go to omega minus 50, 2 theta minus 91, and then just set the distance to 32. Hit enter. The system will drive there. You'll see on the current system I'm using, this Synergy S has a dual source setup. So I'm limited in 2 theta by the position of the second source. Once I'm in position, I can execute the command card raw on 10, enter, and record a 10-second exposure on my detector. The image comes in, and depending on the colorization of the images, in this case you can change that with the paintbrush. I like the rainbow color, this blue sort of coloration. You can see that there is a shadow here following this little arc. That's the cryo nozzle tip shadow. Now, in the bottom right-hand corner of CrysAlis, you can open the Adjust Beam Stop XY Center tool. Get this little window, and you can turn on and off, use jet shadow. Beam Stop overlay has to be on, and then the jet shadow button. When you toggle it, we'll show you here in yellow where the position of the current mask is. And you can see that they do not match. The mask is too little to cover the whole shadow. So then you just go into the Edit Jet Shadow button here, and you can make edits to the various positions. So for right now, I'm going to click this button that says Reset to Defaults, and click OK. And so these are the default parameters that you may see in your version of CrysAlisᴾጴ. So we're going to start here from the defaults and talk about changing these values to get this fixed. So we have several things we can change. 2 angles, alpha, beta, the width of the jet, and the distance to the jet, this crystal distance to the jet. It's fairly easy to measure the distance to the jet if you've got a nice ruler, and the jet width. So let me show you just the other things. If you want to find out a little more details, if you click on the Help menu, CrysAlisᴾጴ Help opens up. And then you could search for CryoJet. And there should be an option in here called Jet Shadow. And if you open that up, you can really quickly see the parameters here diagram. So you've got your crystal here in the center, right here. You've got the X-ray source, you've got your detector over here on the right, and then you have the CryoJet. So the angle of the jet to vertical is this alpha angle. The distance to the jet, obviously, is the distance from the crystal to the end of the nozzle. And then the jet width here is talking about the width of this little thinner part of the nozzle that comes closest to the crystal. If we scroll down a little bit, the one more angle, this beta angle, is how far off the jet is from being straight on right over the X-ray source pointing at the crystal, right? That's the beta angle. So those are the parameters. So let's close this down. Okay, so here we are with the defaults. Alpha equals 30 degrees, beta 0, jet width is 13 millimeters, distance to jet is 6 millimeters. So I went ahead and measured this on my instrument, and the distance to the jet is really more like 7, maybe a little more than 7 millimeters. So I'm going to start there by editing the distance. Let's make it 7.5. Okay, make this one change, hit OK. And you can see that now this mask changed position. If I click this on and off, it's a little too much masking. I really want to be back around here. The other thing that I can do in Edit Jet Shadow is make the width more like what I measured. So I measured more like something that was about 12.5 millimeters for the jet width. Click OK there. So that changes it just a little bit more. If I toggle this on and off, it's still a little bit too much. And then, so the last thing, maybe I'll come in here and say, all right, let's make the jet distance just a little bit more, maybe like 7.7. Okay, changes it a little bit more. So it's pretty good right now. So it matches really good on this side. On the other side, up here, it's a little bit off. There's a little bit of an angle there. And so usually you can fix the angular part of the mask by changing the angle. So I will start with alpha. Usually alpha is the culprit. And I'll just make it 31. Enter. Okay. And that changed the angle of this mask. And it looks pretty good right now. So sometimes you got to fiddle with it till it looks pretty good. You want it to cover a little bit more than the shadow that you see, but not grossly more, and you definitely don't want it to cover less. Okay. You want CrysAlisᴾ傾to know where reflection should not be measured, and that's what this mask is doing. Now, this is only on one side of 2 theta, okay? We are on the negative side of 2 theta. So we now have to check these parameters that we just set on the positive side of 2 theta. So I'm going to bring back this command here to move the goniometer around, and I will now flip it to the positive side. And because of the setup here, I actually have more 2 theta on the positive side, so I'll go to 105, the positive 2 theta, hit enter here. The system will move around and swing around so that the detector's on the positive side of 2 theta. And then once the system gets there, I can execute the same card raw command to get a 10-second exposure by just doing the up arrow until I get to it, hitting enter. And now we'll get another image, and we should see the shadow now on the opposite corner of the top. And boom, here we do. So we've got the mask on, so let's go back to our little menu on the bottom right, adjust beam stop, and we're going to turn the shadow mask on and off. And it's really well set up. So it just goes and covers the shadow, and the angle is just right. So you do have to check both sides and make sure that you come up with a set of parameters that agrees on both sides of the detector, right? If you've got the jet aligned properly with the alignment pin, you really should only have to play with jet width, distance, and alpha. But if it's a little off aligned, you may have to even get into the beta angle. Once you're done and you have the set of numbers that you'd like, that you think work really well, I suggest you go to the snipping tool. New snip. I'll take a snip of just this guy right here. Boom. And then save this out to the disk so that you have it in case you lose the values or something reverts, you'll have them saved to the disk. Okay? Last thing after you've done this is I would go into the main parameters by clicking on the name of CrysAlisᴾ傾in the bottom right corner, clicking Edit Options, and making sure that the parameters that you want set are set right here in this window. Okay? Make sure they're set here. There's no discrepancy. And then you should be all good. And that's how you set the jet shadow mask on your system.